So, in an industry that depends on bringing lots of people together in one place, how have you been operating over the last 8 months?
So great question. And clearly the last 8 months have been, shall we say, one of the most interesting of my career. And if I go back to January, it was very much a very ordinary start to the year. We were looking at what we were going to be doing during the year, and we had plans for expanding in certain areas and maybe bringing on some new clients and exploiting some different opportunities and all the stuff that you would expect to do, in January when you're looking at 2020 and where you want to be at the end of that year. So in February, COVID was clearly on the rise in headlines and was starting to be front of mind, but still didn't look that serious. We were, you look back now, slightly oddly that we were all singing Happy Birthday whilst washing our hands, and we were learning how to sort of elbow bump, and it all seemed not quite that serious. But then, of course, people started dying in quite significant numbers. In the first week of March, we had our first set of events cancelled by a very large and very important client. And instead of cancelling those events, their request was to manage them in a virtual way. And so very quickly we were able to come up with a hybrid offering. And a hybrid offering is quite simply where you have the presenters in a room as we are now. You have the camera crew as we're looking at now, and behind that camera crew is a broadcast crew, and that stream then goes out to a virtual platform, and that's a hybrid event. No audience. The audience, of course, is all virtual, and that's what we did the first couple of weeks of March. We'd never done it before. It was a rapid learning curve. We learned some things which we'll come on to in a while, and we thought that was our world. We thought we can do this. That's great. We're still managing to deliver our clients' messages and their communications. But then clearly around March the 27th, and the first lockdown came with no real prospective end. And then we became 100% virtual. So 100% virtual in the simplest terms is I'm probably sitting at home in Buckinghamshire with a whole bunch of screens in front of me. The technicians are sitting in a studio in either London or Guildford with a whole bunch of screens in front of them. The presenters are coming in from anywhere in the world on sort of whizzy little links into the studio. And of course the audience is all at home, obviously in the first of those lockdowns. So that became our new normal, and clearly we've gone into 100% virtual, back to hybrid later in the summer of this year, which was great. I think a hybrid event delivers a better experience for the presenters, but more importantly, a better experience for the audience. As we sit here today on the 3rd or 4th of December, we've just come out of the second lockdown, so we're just coming back out of 100% virtual. We're going back into hybrid, and so we've been flipping for the last 8 months, which has been fun.